The phone vibrated on the table between us, slow and steady, like it knew it had time. We were eating dinner, or pretending to. She smiled at me without looking down. That smile had become a habit, something she wore when she wanted to appear calm. The sound stopped, then started again. I watched her fingers tighten around her glass. "You don't have to answer everything," she said. Her voice was soft, careful, like she was choosing each word so it wouldn't cut too deep. I nodded. I didn't reach for the phone. I didn't ask who it was. I already knew. The kitchen light hummed above us. The food cooled. The space between us felt louder than the buzzing phone. This wasn't the first time. It wasn't even the 10th. Late nights, locked screens, laughter that didn't belong to me anymore. She used to laugh with her whole body. Now she laughed in pieces and gave me the leftovers. The phone stopped. She finally picked it up and turned it face down. "I'm just busy lately," she said. Busy was the word she used when she didn't want questions. I studied her face, the familiar shape, the stranger inside it. That was the moment something shifted. Not a crash, not a scream, just a quiet click, like a lock turning somewhere deep in my chest. I realized then that whatever was happening had already happened. I just hadn't caught up yet. She started saying it out loud after that. "I'm the prize," she told me one night, half smiling, like she was teasing. "You know that, right?" I laughed because that's what she expected. Inside, something tightened. She talked about herself like she was something rare, something to earn, something I should be grateful to hold on to. "You're lucky," she said more than once. "A lot of men would kill for this. For her, for us, for the life that suddenly felt like a stage set." I tried to convince myself this was normal. People change, marriages shift, love gets quiet. That's what I told myself while she pulled further away. She stopped asking about my day, stopped touching my arm when she walked past, stopped looking at me when she spoke, but she never stopped looking at her phone. There were new habits, new clothes, new energy she saved for somewhere else. When she came home late, her eyes were bright, her voice excited, like she had just stepped out of another life. One night, as she brushed her hair in the mirror, she said it plainly. I could do better if I wanted. She didn't turn around. She didn't wait for my reaction. It wasn't a threat. It was a fact. At least, that's how she meant it. I lay awake long after she fell asleep, staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment I'd ignored, every excuse I'd accepted, every time I told myself I was overthinking. That's when I understood. This wasn't about love anymore. It was about power. I didn't confront her. I became quiet instead. Quiet gives you room to think. It gives other people space to make mistakes. I watched patterns form. Same nights every week, same name on her phone saved under work, same smile when she read certain messages. I stayed calm, too calm. I cooked dinner. I asked polite questions. I nodded at the right moments. From the outside, I was the same man. Inside, I was counting. I checked the phone records first, just numbers, dates, durations, long calls at strange hours, calls that didn't belong to coworkers. I told myself I was just confirming, not accusing. Then I noticed how she dressed differently on certain days, how she checked her reflection twice before leaving, how she came home lighter, like something heavy had been set down somewhere else. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't ask for passwords. I didn't beg for honesty. I hired someone to look quietly. No drama, no scenes, just facts collected without emotion. Waiting was the hardest part. I still slept next to her, still shared meals, still listened to her talk about her day like nothing was wrong. Every normal moment felt borrowed, like time I wasn't supposed to have. Sometimes she'd look at me with suspicion, like she sensed something changing. "Are you okay?" she asked once. I smiled. Of course. She relaxed after that. People always relax when they think they're winning. The envelope arrived on a Tuesday morning, plain, no return address, heavier than it should have been. I waited until the house was empty before opening it. Inside were photographs, messages, timelines laid out neatly like a lesson meant to be understood, not felt. She hadn't just crossed a line, she'd built a new world on the other side of it. There were places I didn't recognize, moments I'd never been part of, words she hadn't used with me in years.
I sat down, not because I was weak, because I needed to breathe. The truth didn't hurt the way I expected. It didn't explode. It settled. That night, I placed the envelope on the table between us, right where the phone had been days before. She froze. "What's that?" she asked. Her voice cracked. "I know," I said. 2 words, nothing more. She opened the envelope with shaking hands. Her face changed as she read. Shock, fear, panic, all racing each other. She started crying, talking fast, explaining, apologizing. "It didn't mean anything. I was confused. I never meant to hurt you." I listened. I didn't interrupt. For the first time in a long while, I felt completely calm. "I'm the prize," she whispered, like saying it might save her. I stood up slowly. "You were," I said, "until you made me stop playing." She stared at me like she didn't understand the words. I packed 1 bag. Not everything, just enough. She followed me through the house, begging now, promising change, promising truth, promising love she'd already spent somewhere else. "I'll fix it," she said. "Please." I looked at her then, really looked. I didn't hate her. I didn't love her either. I simply saw her for who she was. And once you see something clearly, you can't pretend it's different. "I already fixed it," I said. That broke her. I walked out while she cried on the floor, holding a version of herself that no longer worked. I left before sunrise. The sky was pale, quiet, honest. The house behind me felt smaller than it ever had, like it was shrinking without the lies to fill it. I didn't feel proud. I didn't feel sad. I felt clear. Some people think winning means being chosen. They're wrong. Winning is knowing when to stop competing. I didn't look back, because the prize was never her. It was my freedom.